Hi, Kate. Welcome to Ambitious Mamas. Thanks for joining me today to have a discussion about you and your business. And I'd just like to kick it off by you introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about what you do.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I have a social media company called Social Mediology, and I really specialise in coaching, training, working with businesses, corporates, not-for-profits, in how to use social media more effectively and efficiently in their business. What I tend to focus most on is really what's the culture or the mindsets that are needed to make social media work. And I get to work on all sorts of really cool, juicy projects from big corporates down to, solo entrepreneurs and everything in between.
Awesome. Kate, do you have any advice for our ambitious mamas around social media?
Oh, look, there's so much advice. I've actually just finished one of my social media boot camps with small businesses, and when I think about the two most pressing themes that were probably there, one was how do you deal with constructive or non-constructive feedback on social media? So what do you do if you get that negative feedback, and how do you deal with it? So maybe I'll say a little bit about that first. I think one of the first reactions that people have when they have negative feedback on social media is they want to delete it, block it, get rid of it, because it feels really uncomfortable. And, 9 times out of 10, you haven't done the wrong thing, even done the wrong thing or done it deliberately, but it feels really uncomfortable when we care so much about our businesses and our customers, and when we get that kind of feedback, it's not great. So whilst people want to push it away, close it down, it's a really good idea to try and address it. First and foremost, listen to the feedback. There might be something valuable in here for you to take on board. Secondly, really acknowledge the person, because if someone's taken the time to give you feedback, there's generally a burning issue there for them, or there's a really good reason. If you can address it, if you can, resolve the issue for them, that's great. Often what we want to do is take it offline straight away. And whilst that is one strategy, sometimes dealing with things publicly is really the most effective way to not only turn the person around, but to influence other people's perceptions and perspectives as well. So sometimes we might say, oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry that's happened for you. Can you give me your number and I'll call you? And then you never go back and close the loop. And if you do that, then the feedback is left open-ended and no one will ever know whether it was addressed. So if you do take something offline, always go back and close that loop. So I might go back and say, Lisa, it was great to talk to you on the phone today. Really glad we resolved that for you, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future. I look forward to continuing to do business with you. So don't delete it, leave it there, try and resolve it for people, try and engage. Remember that it's about human interaction. And if you do take it offline, always go back and close the loop so that anyone else that comes and sees that in the future sees that it's actually being adequately addressed. And sometimes we can turn our greatest detractors into raving fans if we, really connect with them and do the right thing by them.
Yeah, I think, I notice that a lot on social media is when you do see somebody do that really, really well, particularly if the person has been unreasonable in the, when you see it on other places unreasonable, it does really help you influence how you perceive that business or those people and how they deal with it. So I think that's a great tip. So,
and one of the things I often say with corporate teams is, as the person responsible for social media, you actually have an opportunity to surprise and delight people in a way that you really can't anywhere else in your business. So always address it before phone calls and emails, because social media is so immediate. But if you can get onto things quickly and you can resolve it for people, they're often really surprised and delighted, and it can make an enormous difference. And the case study I love at the moment is Dan from Optus. And anyone that hasn't didn't see that unfold, look it up. But, there was a lot of racist comments that were happening on the Optus page, and this amazing man, Dan, who I believe has had all sorts of marriage proposals and has whole pages set up after him now. He's actually been headhunted and works for Slack. but he just responded in the most human way. And it's amazing that when you come back with facts and you respond in a really human way, you can take the heat out of a lot of situations. And often that's where businesses get it wrong, is they try and, have that really corporate sort of front where there's no humanity to it, and people just want to take that on. That can escalate really quickly.
Oh, that's really great advice. Thank you so much for joining us today to share that with us. It's such an amazing field and ever changing, and it's really valuable for me and for, I'm sure, many other of our members. So thank you for taking the time.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Lisa.